The event that united the Destiny community is the glass half full way of putting everything, while the sit in one spot and mash a button or a click is the other way to put what happened. The Empyrean Foundation has just officially ended as of 8 PM Pacific Standard, 11 PM Eastern on Tuesday, February 25th, 2020. The rewards and follow-up are nothing short of tremendous, and we will get to all of the rewards, some of which we have been missing for years. But this story goes back much further and has some interesting tales to tell, so join me in taking a trip into the Season of Dawn's most unifying event, the Empyrean Foundation. Some footage in this video is from players around the community. Their links will be in the description of this video, as well as the music too. Be sure to drop a like and a subscription if you enjoy your time here or if this channel keeps popping up in your recommended feed. The Empyrean Foundation was not the start of these community-wide events. Actually, it's not even close. I stated in my Outbreak Perfected video that the developers of Destiny are mostly comprised of hardcore World of Warcraft veterans, and how Luke Smith specifically is a Scarab Lord after spending long amounts of time grinding and using materials that he grinded for to unlock a raid for the entire WoW community. Now, Luke and lots of Bungie devs have also already done a great job with community-wide events, from ARG puzzles to even real-life puzzles, Niobe Lab puzzles, and even most recently, the Corridors of Time puzzle. Let's talk about that last one for a second. So, when the Corridors of Time came out, many of us had zero clue what was happening, but we learned about this truly infinite forest that had a lot to offer. Well, a lot of spreadsheets, that is. From busting out the map of the corridors to finding what we thought was the end, to everyone in the community having a unique code and a reason to get the code revealed with the emblem, nothing was quite like the feeling of running through that maze in the final room proccing the new objective text. That rush of adrenaline and accomplishment for the 6 days of time spent on the puzzle was bar none. But aside from the reward being a disappointment to some, more importantly, a lot of people from the entire community felt that they weren't able to contribute like how a few small groups were. I had recommended for the next puzzle event to show us some sort of live progression meter, or in that case of the puzzle, to show us the map coming together. I think it's safe to say that the Foundation was built upon in an empirical manner. In comes the event that hit on all of the marks. What the heck was the Empyrean Foundation? To put it simply, the Foundation was a way to bring us back to the lighthouse for the event Trials of Osiris to return. It started out all the way back at the beginning of Season of Dawn with the obelisks on the Tangled Shore, Mars, Earth, and Nessus. Once these were rebuilt from using Fractaline, a currency from the Season of Dawn, and earned through activities inside of the Season of Dawn, you could pick up mods, you could grab weapon bounties for new loot, and just in general you could grind the season's content. A large piece of story significance came with this too. We were clearly lighting a beacon to connect all of these obelisks somewhere. That somewhere was discovered later in the season when the Tower Obelisk came to life. This obelisk was very nice to have, as it had all of the bounties from other planet obelisks, and all the weapon frames too. Players had noticed it on the roadmap. An event was planned for later in the season. This event was called the Empyrean Foundation, and if I had to say a couple of words about this event, it's that it was seen as a new activity in the Sundial, this season's 6-man activity, and not what we ended up getting. Instead, we got a way to donate Fractaline in 7 stages to complete the event. Stage 1 was 400 million, which seems like a lot, but it isn't really a lot considering that the final stage of Stage 7 was 9.77 billion. Also, when we did get the activity, we had no clue how long it would take since there was question marks past Stage 4. And seeing as how the Corridors of Time puzzle was done in 6 days, I think a lot of us, myself included, thought we could get this one done in about a week or two. What the hell was everyone talking about when you may have seen something about investing in stonks, donating to the Foundation, etc.? Well, the Empyrean Foundation worked in an odd way. It would track something called a resonance rank, and with that number, you knew you were getting all of that back each reset. So what that meant is if you invest in the new currency called Light Fuse Fractaline, you could rank up an obelisk infinitely on a different place like the Tangled Shore, as that is easily the best spot to do it, and that would keep upgrading your resonance rank. You could also use all the Fractaline you got from the Foundation each week to reinvest it into the obelisk for more donating by the final week. I will let an expert explain it better than me.
What's up guys, today I'm just going to remind you, do not donate your Fractaline this week, reinvest it all. As you see, once you complete the initial questline for Empyrean Foundation, you can generate your Fractaline based on whatever your resonance rank was from the previous week. So whatever your resonance rank is right when reset hits will be the amount you can generate that week. So as you see, I get 6900 and my resonance rank was exactly 6900, so it's a 1-to-1 harvest. And once you get this new Fractaline, do not donate it, put it straight back into different obelisks, whichever ones you want. If they're not rank 11, I recommend getting the multi-11 first. After that, whichever one you want, it doesn't really matter. I'm on Team Mars because I guess that's a competition now. I think that'd be kind of like a cool side bet going on during the event, whichever obelisk gets ranked up the most. Team Mars all the way. And as you see, my resonance rank is now 10.3 thousand once I turn in all my previous week's harvested Fractaline.
Now, this was the best way to do this, but it took 20,000 glimmer, some legendary shards per light infused frac. Now to just visit the spider and claim all that easy glimmer for oh, f me. Spider is a vendor inside of Destiny 2 who is all about currency transfers. So if you need a planetary material, Spider has your back for usually pretty fair prices. But when Spider was needed most, some days he decided to be a total ween, so this meant having to wait a day or two to even start donating again. On a good day, Spider would be selling glimmer for legendary shards, or a material for glimmer when he would also be selling that material for shards, so it just became a two-step process instead of a one-step. Now that you're full on glimmer, it's just one tower trip away, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and oh my god, I think I'm gonna go watch a movie instead, and come back, and oh wow, I'm still here. I just finished all the Lord of the Rings books, and it's still loading. This loading bug that Bungie was aware of and is still working on a fix as of this video was just a slow dent in the otherwise pretty great event. What made the event better was not just the memes, but the kind of war back and forth on whether or not to donate and which obelisk was the best. You had the correct choice of Tangang on the Tangled Shore, and the rest of them, which are all gone now because Tangang rules over all of them. So, the other cool thing to note here is that over time the tower obelisk started to light up, then make a spire, then finally the big reveal. But what was also cool was that if you picked up a weapon bounty and then donated 400 Fractaline on a donation week, it would automatically complete those bounties, so you could shoot for god rolls, and it kind of ruined the rest of the season's grind. But hey, I'm not complaining. I have all my god rolls. Overall, this was really well done, and I think the memes just kept on getting better, with even Twitter gaming getting involved. That was weird. As I stated, the final day was Tuesday, February 25th, 2020, and everyone was busting their butt to donate as much as possible. So 100 at a time, because that's how high it lets you donate at once. Some had just started donating, and some had donated over 2 million. Either way, when it was finally complete at stage 7, something tremendous happened. That cutscene seems odd and doesn't feel like a mission at all, does it? We just put in an artifact into the middle of this thing. Well, this is 100% the new lighthouse, and the Empyrean Foundation that we all donated to built this for us to use. To me, this is a great execution of the ever-evolving world, and we were rewarded with some very familiar shaders and a triumph to complete this season's title, Worthy. Now that all seems nice and dandy, but only 20 minutes after it was complete, a Bungie live stream was starting. The title of this stream, Destiny 2, Season of Worthy, Trials of Osiris Returns, Dev Insight.
Trials is back, and it's pretty insane.
I made a full video on the importance and impact of Trials that I think you should check out if you haven't seen it already. There will be a card in the top right and a link in the description, but we were just given 2 large pieces of news. Season of Worthy is the next season, and Trials of Osiris is to return. Before I get into it, I want to ask you, how are you feeling about Trials returning? Are you somebody that's going to play it a lot, or are you somebody that doesn't really care? Let me know in the comments. This stream immediately had the electricity that I know a lot of people who play Destiny have been missing, and for myself, a mostly PvE player, my Fridays just got that much better. You see, Trials is the pinnacle activity for high stakes that we look for. 3v3, 9 wins flawless is an intense feeling, and the rewards for getting that feel even better.
Get on cap, get on cap!
Get on cap, get on cap, get on cap.
Goldie dead, Goldie dead!
Nice, nice! He's last one, Lumi, last one, Lumi.
Get the fuck off me! He's one!
You bodied him!
Yes, let's go!
Potato! Holy shit!
Get the fuck off me, Lumi!
Oh my god!
Let's fucking go, dude! Let's fucking go, dude!
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
One more game, one more! Lumi's dead!
Nice, nice, nice! Pipe your stuff right here, pipe your stuff right here. Go, 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 go! There's nowhere else for them to go.
They're dead! Let's go, guys! Great f***ing job!
Oh my god, oh my god!
That was it! That was it, right? That was it?
Free! Free!
Okay.
So this brings us back. One thing I noted that I was scared of in that video was the meta that we have right now, and I am happy to report that as of the TWAB from February 27th, 2020, we are seeing some massive fixes to the broken parts of PvP. Some I knew would get fixed eventually, and some I had no clue Bungie was going to fix so fast. Goodbye Controverse Hold and Handheld Supernovas mapping you in PvP, Warlock Melee has been extended but it's still slower to balance it, Weighted Knife tracking has been deduced, and Shoulder Charge Magnet has been reduced as well. Hunters now get Trip Mine sticky again, and just in general there's a bunch of changes that I will link in the description. It all just looks awesome, and it looks like they're putting a heavy focus into the PvP changes. Now the final piece that scared players was the artifact and power levels associated with it, so let me break that down quickly. The artifact is the key grinding build making level process in Destiny 2 right now. The artifact is fun for PvE to make builds with, but can easily break PvP as we have seen with battery for hunters, especially causing issues.
Watch what happens as I ape towards my friend Random in a private match. Note, I've given him instructions to kill me when I've entered his shotgun kill range. But that ain't happening. Look at how much health I have after killing him. With everything you have equipped right now, you can enter super aggro ape mode, provided you have a hunter dodge fully charged up and ready to go. Here's one where he was lacing into me with a Better Devil's hand cannon at mid-range. Same result. Now,
one thing that really scares players is power level with the artifact, since you can overlevel from turning in bounties the same way Bagel 4K did to reach 999 power for the Shattered Throne. This leveling comes from bounties, and after a certain amount of levels for the infinite grind, you will be really strong in Trials, considering Trials is a power level advantaged activity. Even more good news though is that Luke Smith, after a lot of concern and pushback from the community, decided to disable the artifact's leveling for power advantage events like Trials. The other concern that players had in Trials, since it will be free to play, is how many cheaters on PC especially will there be? DMG, one of the community managers at Bungie, has stated that there will be a triumph to complete to be able to access trials to begin with to combat cheating, but we will see how many steps are involved and if this will have a great effect. This is all great news and shows they're really applying that renewed focus to PvP like we were promised in Shadowkeep. I want to also clarify something that I know a lot of PvE players are bummed out on. Number one, the Season of Worthy is not a PvP season. Yes, Trials is back, but it's an overall mode, not a mode associated with the Season of Worthy, which looks to focus on Rasputin and Osiris. And number two, if this is a PvP season, we should let all the PvP players enjoy it. It's been a very long time since Destiny has ever focused on PvP, and I think it's important to give them 1, even 2 seasons of just PvP focused content to balance out how it's been. There were a lot of changes, and I will be sure to link those in the TWAB for those to see, but I want to go into one final section breaking down the Trials trailer for everyone, as I was super excited to see it myself. So it's time to watch the reveal trailer, and other than the pure raw emotion that I'm sure lots of you watching this video felt that night or when you saw the trailer, there's more to it than meets the eye though. If you don't like spoilers at all, I'm going to leave a timestamp to skip ahead. You have been warned. So Luke Smith gave us a wonderful intro, and I agree with him. Trials, like I have said before, is like walking into a blockbuster. You pick a stream, have fun, or a game with some buddies, and get a new experience every single time. After Luke was done, there's some amazing pieces you may have missed. The Year 1 Destiny armor returns, the Outbreak Perfected gets a new ornament, a returning short gaze scope comes to scout rifles, maybe the 4th Horseman is back, one of the titles next season is Flawless, Doctrine of Passing, which fired rounds like this,
enemy captured zone B,
is maybe back. Same 14 as our narrator instead of Shax,
fight, win, fight again.
3 returning maps from Destiny 1, Flawless Armor Glow, and just lots of great other small additions. One thing that I'm sure you're hearing a lot of me saying is the word returning. While yes, these are mostly returning pieces, and I know some people are going to be mad about that, I want you to think about how great these were and will continue to be. In my Remakes and Remasters video, I had no problem unless things return with something new. All the new maps are updated with small touches added. The weapon types for the most part aren't in the game at all and will bring a new feel to the table, I hope, and the armor looks amazing, no complaints over there from me. Overall, I think Bungie has done a great job uniting the community. Not only was the Empyrean Foundation a success to me, but to many as well, considering that the PvE players and the PvP players rejoiced at unlocking the pinnacle PvP activity while still giving us all some major key story incentives to look forward to. Speaking of looking forward to, I hope to see you all in the next video, and if you did enjoy this one, a like would be greatly appreciated, as well as a subscription. You can follow my Twitch as well, link to that is in the description. Enjoy the bloopers, guys, and until next time, thank you so much for supporting my channel. I will see you later.
Whoever's idea it was to tape half of a f***ing trash can on the side of your one shoulder, but not the other shoulder, is pissing me off, dude.
It's 3 symbols, so it's 3 houses.
No, people aren't reading. People just, they read 6 words and like, oh, Bungie, you're nuts, dude. Oh my god, this is not what I wanted! This is not what I'm paying $10 for, bro.
I remember back when I was a little piece of shit on YouTube and I thought I was right about everything and everyone else was wrong. I made the comment that casual players just want loot delivered straight to their inbox without having to do anything. We're here. We made it. Literal god roll farming, literally best god roll farming system we've ever fucking had in this game. By the way, click a couple buttons. God rolls everywhere. Oh, look at that. Feeding Frenzy multi-kill clip.
It's 3 symbols, so it's 3 houses. 3.
I have no... What? What? How does he know?
It's 3 symbols, so it's 3 houses. 3. And then you get to level 7.
Bruh. Yo. Okay. Okay. Chat. Yo. He just walked through the wall. Yo, he just walked through the wall. Yo.